Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's K-E-S-H-W-A-N-I, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GRE out of this book here, practicing to take the GRE General Test, the 10th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it in order to prepare for the exam. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 376, quantitative comparison question number 12. Let's take a look at it. They tell you that 0 is less than A, or A is more than 0. 0 is less than A, and A is less than B, and B is less than C. That's what they tell us. And what they want us to compare is B over A versus C over B. Well, instead of doing this problem in a theoretical manner with all the abstract algebra and so forth, the quickest, easiest, most efficient way to solve this problem is by plugging in numbers. Now, having said that, it is not as simple as you might think. If you have not watched any of my previous videos, go back and watch a few of the videos where I talk about the kinds of numbers that are there that you have to deal with on the GRE. You see, when you were when you were a little boy in a school year, in your school days, or little girl, in your school days, we learned many different varieties of numbers. They taught us that there are positive numbers, negative numbers, even numbers, odd numbers, prime numbers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, real numbers, imaginary numbers. There are a whole bunch of different kind of numbers. Similarly, when you take in the GRE, the numbers come in two flavors. I have talked about it many times. I'm going to talk about it again one more time. Two flavors of numbers for GRE. Just like there are even numbers, odd numbers. I already made the list of it. I just enumerated them. Similarly, for the GRE, the numbers come in two flavors. Stay with me, okay? Pay attention, because it's going to get quite complicated quite fast. Here we go. They come in two flavors. Nice numbers and nasty numbers. Yes, I know, I warned you. Nice numbers and nasty numbers. What are nice numbers? Nice numbers are any whole positive number. Any whole positive number. Nice numbers are the kind of numbers that most ordinary people think of when they're plugging in numbers. Those are the only kind of numbers that they can think of. They do not think of outside the box. They do not think of a weird scenario. They do not contemplate strange situations, which is what the nasty numbers are all about. The nastiest of all the number is 0. Why 0 is nasty? Because it behaves in a very unpredictable, very mercurial way. Any number times 0 is 0, 0 divided by any number is 0, any number raised to 0 is 1. It behaves in a very strange way. Any number, if I have a 5 raised to 0, is just 1, and 10 raised to 0 is also 1. This is a power, not a degree sign. 1/2 raised to 0 is also 1. You see, 0 behaves in a very strange way. The next nastiest number that we have to deal with is 1. Positive 1. That's the only exception here. Any whole positive number except 1. 1 comes here. We should try the 1 next. After that, we have to try negatives, and finally fractions. You must go in this order. Always go in this order. Always keep your work systematic so that you do not go all over the place, so that your thinking, your work is there in a very cohesive, very coherent, very organized manner. Do you understand? In other words, you mustn't go all over the place. You have to have certain steps that you're going to know, that you're going to take in a certain way at a certain time. And this is the order that I want you to go into. First, try 0. If for some strange reason 0 is not allowed in the problem, try 1. If 1 doesn't work, try negative, and negatives do not work, then finally, as a last resort, try fractions, which is what we're going to do here. So first we're going to plug in positive numbers, so nice number first. So they tell us, I'm going to move this down a little bit. They tell us 0 is less than a, so let's put in 1, 2, 3. Even though technically speaking, I should try all positive numbers which are more than 1, like 2, 3, 4, 5, but what the hell, I started, it's a nice system, 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's look at the answer. Let's look at what they want you to compare. Let's see what they want us to compare. B over A versus C over B. Well, B over A, B is 2, A is 1, so that's very simple. That's just 2. C over B, C is 3, B is 2, 3 halves versus 2, 2 is greater than 3 halves. So far, the answer is A. Notice how I qualified it. I said so far, the answer is A. What does it tell you? Does the work that we have done so far, does it tell you what the answer is? No, this does not tell us, the work that we have done so far does not tell us what the answer is, but it does tell us what the answers are not. What do these answer choices mean? If you look at the top of the page there, it says A if the quantity in column A is greater. I want you to pick up a pencil and insert a word that I want you to put in here. Insert a word here. A if quantity in column A is always greater. Insert a word always in there. Similarly, if you were to pick answer choice B, what you're claiming is that the quantity in column B is always greater. And if you pick C, the claim that we're making is that two quantities are always equal. Well, we have found one instance where quantity in column A is bigger. If quantity in column A is bigger in one instance, that tells me that the answer cannot be B. Because B would have meant that the quantity in column B is always bigger. But the quantity in column B cannot bloody well be always bigger because we have found one instance when it is not. Similarly, the answer bloody well cannot be C because C would have meant that the two quantities are always equal. The two quantities cannot bloody well be always equal if we have found one instance when they are not. So we do not know what the answer is, but we do know that it's not B and it's not C. It's either A or a D. To figure out whether it's A or whether it's D, we have to try the nastier scenarios. Let me change the color. Again, same thing. 0 is less than A, which is less than B, which is less than C. Well, we have tried 0. We already have a 0 here. So we have tried a 0. We already have a 1. We can try negatives. Negatives will not work here because everything has to be more than 0. A is more than 0 and B is more than A and C is more than B. So we can't try negatives. Let's try fractions. They all have to be positive, but that does not prevent us from trying fractions. So that's what we're going to do here. Let's say, I don't know, put in 1/3, 1/2, let's put in 1/4. 1/4, 1/3, and 1/2. Okay, let's see, we'll see what happens. 1/4 is less than 1/3, and 1/3 is less than 1/2. And of course, 0 is less than 1/4. Let's put in here. So the quantities they want you to compare is B over A versus C over B. C over B. Let's do it one more time again. B over A. B is 1 over 3. A is 1 over 4. When you manipulate it, this 4 is going to end up on the top, and you're going to end up with 4/3. Similarly here, C is 1/2, and B is 1/3. When you manipulate it, it's going to end up with 3 halves. 3 is going to end up here, 3 halves, same as before. 3 halves and 4/3. You see, this is 1.5. This is 1.5. And this right quantity, 4 over 3, comes out to be 1 1/3. 1 1/3 is less than 1 1/2. Before it was more, now it is less. Before the answer was A, now the answer is B. The answer switched. It used to be A, now it's B. Because the answer switched, we know that the correct answer is D. That's it, that's all. That's all there is. That's it, we are done. You understand? Just give me 1 second here. That's all there is. Before the answer was A, now the answer is B. Can we think of a scenario where the answer may have turned out to be C? Well, let's take a look at it, just out of curiosity. But as far as the problem is concerned, we are done. Because the answer switched, the correct answer is D. But for curiosity purposes, let's see if there is a scenario, at least one scenario that we can think of, where the answer would be C. In order for the answer to be C, well, let's see. In order for the answer to be C, A times C would have to equal B squared. Let me do it on this side. I'm going to erase all of this thing. I need the room, so I'm going to erase it. Or should I stop at this point? I'm going to tell you what you need to try, and you will see that the scenario that I'm talking about, in that case, if you were to try it on your own, the answer will turn out to be C. Before it was A, it's B. There is a scenario where the answer will turn out to be C. If you were to try, let's see, what can we do here? Let's do 1/2, 1 and 2. 1/2, 1 and 2. In this case, if you were to try these numbers, 1/2, 1 and 2, you will see that the answer, in this case, in this third case, the answer would be C. Before the answer was A, B, C. Anyway, the point here is the answer is D. That's it, because it keeps changing. More than half the people who took the exam, 53% of people who took the exam, did not get this question right. The reason why they're not getting it right is because they're not thinking about these weird scenarios. That's all. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, face-to-face tutoring, I also tutor over the internet via Skype, and I also do tutoring service. I also provide tutoring services over the telephone. If there is anything at all, in any manner, shape or form that I can help you, go to my website at www.for4gre.com and send me an email. Or you can go to www.KeshwaniPrep.com and send me an email. Alright? Thank you.